Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews. And yes, I'm not wearing my shades now because this isn't really that long of a review. So, we're looking at Bleach 671, a relatively simple chapter. A few things I definitely did like. It's not going to be as long as the One Piece one, thank God, because that took ages and took ages to render, which is why I tend to only manage to do 2 or 3 videos in my allocated time to do these videos for YouTube after work. So, without further ado, let's get into the review. So, this chapter, for all intents and purposes, was really a showcase chapter of the Bankai. It pretty much had a bit of explanation to Hitsugaya, saying that when he couldn't maintain or increase the limitation of his Bankai for more than 12 minutes is because him as a person wasn't mature, his body hasn't developed at that point, so he's forced himself to grow, and basically he doesn't really like too much of the adult self or his adult form, maybe because he's shorter than he thought he would, but to be fair, he looks like a decent sized individual. Maybe there's probably a weakness. There isn't really explanation to that, that's what he says. And then, as always, Hulk Hogan gets involved. Yeah, I mean Gerrard he literally is like an Aztec Hulk Hogan, pretty much. So he gets involved, he tries attacking Hitsugaya. Hitsugaya does his thing, he throws the shield at Hitsugaya, freezes the shield, he shoots an attack with his sword, he freezes the sword and cuts it in half, and basically Gerrard's like, you do realise the amount of times I've told you about this, it's not going to work. And it's a guy goes, not this time, mate. Everything I freeze basically doesn't change back. This forces, for the first time that I've seen it, or I can recall in this fight, Gerrard to use his bow, his Quincy bow. So his other tools have been taken out of the equation. But before we realise it, Hitsugaya has basically frozen him again. But as always, as you get in these mangas, the hero tends to get a bit too full of himself, and Gerrard just carries on attacking. He grabs Hitsugaya and I thought, oops, he's going to squash the living daylights out of him. And lo and behold, we have Zariki Kampachi throwing him. It looks like he's throwing him over the one-armed bandit that he is right now. But Gerrard says something about his legs. He goes, what have you done to my feet? I don't know if it's cut them or he's damaged his Achilles or whatever it might be, but he's forced him to fall over, and he goes, what have you done to my legs? And before anything else can happen, he's frozen. But the way that the ending, that final panel, we see Byakuya Kuchiki and his Sanban Sakura Aogi look amazing. So this will be the first time we'll see the Bankai after his as far as I remember, after his Division 0 training, and we'll get to see how evolved and how to the next level it's gone. So I'm interested to see, will this be the end? He has done a decent amount in freezing him, or is this going to be one of those hack situations where he's going to come back again? Ultimately, I do not know. There's so many twists and turns in this battle. All 3 of them got involved, which, to be honest, I actually really enjoyed. Because bravado aside, that was actually really good teamwork. I think they thought to themselves, look, let's just deal with the guy, we'll bitch later. That really showed. I think it really was productive and effective when they just got on with it, I guess. So ultimately, that's what it came down to. We got to see a little bit of Hitsugaya's technique. The full potential of it hasn't been revealed. We've always told that in 100 years he'd be stronger than the new current Captain Commander. So it's interesting to see some of that now, him in his adult form. Will this be enough? I don't know. There's not much to speculate on this, but if this doesn't defeat him, what happens next? I'm not giving you the theory about that Quincy logo, that kind of things, that emblem type of thing that the Quincy have, that was everything formed around that. If that is damaged in the process of this technique, it probably will be enough. I'd really like to see an explanation of his power, to what his weakness is, because we haven't really seen one. And ultimately, once that's fully explored and discovered, if this is the way to defeat him, it'll be the end. So relatively simple chapter, relatively simple review with everything else. I hope you enjoyed the chapter as I did. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are. If you enjoy the video, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate your support. It is an ever growing channel. I've been doing this for 6 months now. I've got to 50 subscribers. I'd like to get to 100, please, and then on the way to the end of the year I want to get to 1,000, and that'll be my first major milestones in the goal to get to that magical 100k. Let's see if we can make something out of this. So without anything else to discuss, thank you very much for your time. As always, take it easy.